and welcome to a Sanctioned battle report. It's been a long one. I've been doing a lot of Apothos lately, so this is kind of a nice change of pace for me. And today we have Justin coming in from Hamilton, so that's just up the highway from where we are in Welland. And he has his 1,500 points of Tyranids that he's going to be playing today. And against it, I'm going to be taking 1,500 points of Cult Mechanicus and Grey Knights. So we're going to see how this goes. You have a very mobile style army.
Absolutely.
And I have an army that doesn't like AP2.
No.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this all goes down. So let's go take a look at the board and the table. But before we do that, you guys can always challenge us to a game here. Just go to miniwargaming.com/challenge. You're going to find all our contact information, email address, all that sort of stuff. Shoot us an email. We love to have people come in. For instance, you know, Justin coming in. It's always great to meet new people.
First timer.
Yeah, there we go. He's a first timer, and it's always great to meet new people, see the armies that they've put together. So definitely check out that that website right there, the miniwargaming.com/challenge, and we'd love to hear from you.
Sir.
So here is Justin's 1,500 points of Tyranids. I'm actually really digging the blue and the purple. They look really sharp. So starting from over the left here, what do we got?
We have 20 Devil Gaunts with the Mark of Dave. They have Devourers, pretty much instead of Flesh Borers.
Sounds good.
Have my, I made that myself. That's my Death Leaper. I like to use him a lot. He's one of my favorite guys. We got a Tyrannifex inside of a Tyrannocyte to drop down.
Okay.
We have my Flyrant with Twin Link Devourers. We have my Hive Crone to deal with any air, which you don't have, but I like bringing them anyways.
Oh, fair enough.
We got 3 Mucilid Spores, all separate in squads, just to fill up 3 troop choices. We have the Children of Cryptus, who's a data slate from the Shield of Baal. And basically it's a Genestealer squad of 8 with stealth.
Okay.
And then we have the Moloch, who's going to be coming in by himself, and we have another Tyrannocyte, which is carrying these Devil Guns.
All right, excellent. So there is the 1,500 points. And here's the 1,500 points of Imperials that are going to be going against it. So the main detachment is actually going to be the Cult Mechanicus, taking the battle cohort. So I got my Tech Priest Dominus right at the very front there. Got 1 unit of Cataphren Destroyers and 1 unit of Cataphren Breachers. Now in this particular case, because we don't quite have all the Breachers we need yet, these 2 Arc Rifles are actually going to be Torsion Cannons. In the back there, we have 1 Datasmith with 2 Castellans with all the heavy Phosphor Blasters. So hopefully that Strength 6 AP3 will be able to do something against your big monstrous creatures. On the other side here, we have a Mastery Level 3 Librarian with the Soul Glaive leading the charge on the Grey Knights. 2 units of Terminators, 1 Hammer in each squad, 1 Psy Cannon in each squad. And then we have the Dread Knight at the very back there, and he's got his heavy Psy Cannon and the personal teleporter. So you can just ignore that heavy incinerator for this particular game. I needed 30 points. I had to drop it somewhere, and I'd rather have the mobility.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah. So there is the 1,500 points of Imperials. So here we have the board. So everyone is deployed at this point. I got my 2 Terminator squads going to be deep striking in using the Nemesis Strike Force. And you have a whole bunch of your Tyranid monstrous creature flyers that have already started on the table, and some of your infiltrators all the way back there.
Yep, in glide mode.
In glide mode, there we go. So the mission we'll be playing is Cleansing Control. So we're each going to start with 3 objective cards, tactical objective cards, and we can only ever have 3. Now, we rolled off. I won the roll for deployment, so I opted to deploy first for first turn. So Justin is now going to get a chance to try and steal the initiative.
This will be the best roll ever.
So let's see it.
The first one on these dice?
Oh, unfortunately not. So with all that being said, let's go into Imperial turn 1. At the start of Imperial turn, draw 3 cards here. So Secure Objective 5, Secure Objective 4, and Supremacy. And at the start of my first turn, I do have to roll for some reserves here. So this squad of Terminators right here will be coming on, and the squad of Terminators with my Librarian will also be coming on. My first deep strike, I'm going to come in here and try and take objective number 1. So let's see if I scatter. No, direct hit. And because they're now taking the objective, we do have to identify this mysterious one. And it is an exploding objective. And as I always like to say, no guts, no glory. Going to come down here with the Librarian, going to for objective number 6 here. Oh no, that's probably going to be off the table. And it wasn't enough to take him off the table, but it was enough to put him way, way back there, and not in a great position, because I was really hoping to Cleansing Flame those
I don't know
Gene
how much
Stealers
that's
there.
gonna work out now.
And here is where the Librarian and his Terminator squad end up. Now we do have some mysterious objectives that we need to determine before we start doing all the movement stuff. So let's see what the Gene Stealers are sitting on. That is going to be a 3. I believe that's nothing of note.
I think that's a 2.
Is it 2? Let's double check it.
Alright.
So we just looked it up, and the result of 3 is the Skyfire Nexus. So those Gene Stealers are going to be shooting down any flyers coming near them, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now we have a mysterious objective over here that we need to determine what it is. 3! Another Skyfire Nexus.
This is not good.
Next up, I do have the Scryer Skull on the Dominus there. I also rolled for his Warlord trait, and I got a result of 4, which actually allows me to choose the result on the mysterious objective. So we're just going to, I think we're going to take a look at objective number 5 over here. And we're going to call it, I think, let's call that Skyfire.
That's 3 Skyfire
That's
Nexus.
3 Skyfires. And these Castellans just going to move up 6 inches just to take over that objective right there. And once again, because the Dominus is in there identifying it, I think we're going to go with Skyfire.
That's 4.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
Might as well make them all Skyfire.
Exactly. And this Dread Knight here is actually just going to jump over here, take objective number 4 like so. Oh, let's not move that. Taking objective number 4. And let's find out what it is. Hey, look at that, a Skyfire Nexus!
Oh no!
So every objective on the table at this point has been identified, and it's a whole bunch of Skyfire Nexuses with one sabotaged on the Terminators there. And both the Cataphren units are actually just going to stay put in the terrain that they're in right now. That way they at least have a cover save against some of the scary stuff that might be coming in to attack them. That is it for the movement phase, so let's go into the psychic phase. Let's see how many warp charges. 1 plus whatever I got. So there's 1, 2, 3 for the Librarian, 4 for the Terminator squad, 5 for this Terminator squad, and 6 for that Dread Knight over there for a total of 7. And you have
4.
You have 4. So he's Mastery level 3 right here?
2.
Mastery level 2.
1.
Oh, and you have a Broodlord over there. That's
yes,
right. So 7 against 4. Now we just realized we forgot to roll the Death Leaper's It's After Him special rule. He did nominate my Librarian, which is this fella right over here, and he rolled a 5, so it is going to reduce his leadership by 3. So thankfully the Terminators are still going to be given their higher leadership. I'm going to start by trying to 2 dice for warning on the Librarian right here. It's a Warp Charge 1. And I got it off, so they now have a 4-up invulnerable save. Would you like to try and deny that?
No.
No? Alright. I'm going to 1 dice Force, just in case you decide to charge with the Hive Prone there. Let's see if I get it. And Force goes off.
Nope.
You're good, alright. Over here, we're going to try and get Force off. We're going to 2 dice this one. No, that's not very good. And I think we're going to try Gate of Infinity over here. And move them over to objective number 5, maybe. I don't know. So let's see if it goes off. No, no Gate of Infinity. So that is the Psychic phase. Let's move into the Shooting phase. As part of the Nemesis Strike formation, I'm going to run these guys before I actually shoot them. So D6 inches, they're going to run 3. And basically they're just shifting around a little bit so they can get more guys in line of sight of that Hive Tyrant there. And I'm going to start shooting into the Hive Tyrant right there. Would you like to jink?
Your guns aren't AP3, so no, I'm not.
Alright, well let's start with the Rending Psy Cannon then. So let's see what that's going to do. So Psy Cannon hitting on 3s. That's going to be 3 hits right there.
And toughness 6.
Alright, so strength 7. So on 3s. That's going to be 2 wounds right there. So 2 3-up saves.
Yes, sir.
And 1 is going to go through. Alright, so I got to do a couple more wounds, otherwise your feel no pain thing's going to kick in here.
Absolutely.
And what's giving him that ability again?
Adaptive Biology, his Warlord trait.
That's right. Okay. Next up I have a whole bunch of Storm Bolters that are going to pepper into him. So once again, hitting on 3s. Only 4 hits, but wounding on 6s. No extra wounds. And at the end of that unit shooting, he is down to 3 wounds. Over here, this Dread Knight is actually just going to fire his heavy side cannon, the multiple shots into the Death Leaper right there. So it's going to be hitting on 6s because of the Death Leaper's special rule. So it's going to be 1 hit right off the bat there. And what's your toughness?
My toughness is 4.
So going to be wounding on 2 here. That is definitely going to wound. It's also going to rend.
Yep.
So whatever. Yeah, cover save. So you're in ruins and you have stealth. So you're going to have a 3-up cover save here.
Yes, sir.
And you're fine. Next up, the Castellans are going to fire into the Death Leaper as well, because that is actually the only target they can see and reach. Because that Hive Tyrant's hiding on the line of sight. So starting with their twin... Oh, I forgot to do a Canticle this turn as well.
Go ahead.
We're going to do the Canticle for the... what is it? To give myself Stealth and Shroud... Or, well, Stealth.
Yeah.
Actually, and Shrouded, because I have 4 units on the table. So Stealth and Shrouded.
Okay.
Or Shrouded, rather. Not Stealth and.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Alright, anyway, moving into the shooting here. The Twin Link to heavy Phosphor Blaster shots at the Death Leaper. Twin Link, thankfully.
6s. Oh, wait, you hit on ballistic skill. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no,
For 2.
No, but it's still 6s because you're snap firing. Because I'm snap firing.
But wasn't that 5s?
Those were 5s, but
Yeah.
they're not.
Yeah, you have ballistic skill 2 on
No,
snap
these aren't
fires.
Cognis.
Oh.
These aren't Cognis. And no hits from the Twin Linked ones. Next up, the non-Twin Linked shots. Hitting on 6s. Nothing. And the Librarian and his squad is going to fire into the Hive Crone, just try and take advantage of it while it's still in gliding mode. Starting with the side cannon, hitting on 3s.
I'm gonna jink.
I figured you probably were.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 4 hits right there. And your toughness 5, you said?
5, yeah.
So wounding on 2s with the side cannon. So that's going to be 2 rending hits from the side cannon and 1 regular wound. So take the, I guess it's going to be a 4 up either way, right?
4 jinx saves.
So just do a bunch of 4s.
No.
Oh no!
Ugh.
Failed 3 times right off the bat. So 3 wounds already applied to the Hive Crone. Now we got 5 Storm Bolters, so 10 shots total going into the Hive Crone. Hitting on 3s. 4 hits, needing 5s to wound. And that's going to be... You know, I might have only gotten 4 hits. But those are 4 wounds as well. So you need to roll 4 4+ at this point.
Absolutely. Wow.
And you're golden. So the Hive Crone is going to live. And after the shooting, I'm just going to run these Terminators and Librarian towards the nearest objective. 4 inches. And that's enough just to get them a little bit closer to that objective there. Actually, let's keep the side cannon where he was and out of the first casualty spot. And that does end the first turn for the Imperials, because unfortunately neither of my Cataphren units are within range of anything at the moment. So, let's go take a look at what the objectives are. And I was only able to secure Objective 4 in my first turn, so 5 is still standing, and Supremacy. I think I'm actually going to discard... no, I'm going to hold on to Supremacy for now, and just see what happens. At the start of Justin's turn, he's going to draw 3 objectives. So we have Objective 4. Yeah, come take it from my Dread Knight. Objective 3. Come take it from my Castellans. And Objective 3. Alright, we got a fight brewing. And before we forget, we're going to see if the sabotaged objective blows up. So on a roll of a 1. No explosion yet. Starting with the Hive Tyrant.
He is gonna go to swoop.
Alright.
He's gonna come play with the Castellans. So he's going this way.
All the way over there.
Yeah.
Next up we have the Crone.
He is going to go to swoop mode and Vector Strike.
Makes sense. He's angry that I took some wounds off him.
Absolutely.
So for the Vector Strike, Strength 8, AP 2 on the Hive Crone.
No.
Nothing. Alright. So they live yet again. Next up is the Gene Stealers. We got a nice bird's eye view here. So where are they going?
They're gonna move to the other side of the building. Getting ready to go say hello to a bunch of AdMech.
Makes sense to me. And the Death Leaper is just going to sit on that objective and be happy.
Yep.
Moving into the Psychic phase, so we have D6 plus 3 for you.
Yes, sir.
So 3, so we have 6 total to my 7, I believe. Sorry about that, my math is terrible. I actually have 9 to your 6. And I don't think we covered it in your initial deployment there, so what did you actually get for the Hive Tyrant?
He has Warp Blast and to Horror.
All
As
right.
well as his Primaris.
Yeah, I've had a lot of experience with the Horror. I'm not a big fan of it. All right. Over here, we're going to start with the Broodlord, using the Horror into my unit of Terminators with the Librarian there. Throwing 3 dice at it.
Does not.
No successes. And the Hive Tyrant, I'm assuming using the other 3 dice?
Yes.
Gonna try and Horror my Dread Knight here, because he is not fearless.
Yes, he is.
No. Oh no, not a very good Psychic phase.
Nope.
But you know what? You got a lot of beefy stuff coming at me still.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're in trouble yet. Now, Justin just reminded me that there is some instinctive behavior that we should have done at the start of the movement phase here. So chances are good you'll pass them all. So starting with the Hive Crone. Yeah, you're fine there with a 7. So moving on to the Brood Lord and the Gene Stealers.
No,
Let's.
the Death Leaper.
Oh, you want to do the Death Leaper?
They don't actually make instinctive behavior right
Okay,
now.
I thought it was weird when you mentioned they might. So the Death Leaper is also fine. Alright, we're golden. Moving into the shooting phase, the Hive Tyrant. Gonna nominate the...
Castilian Robots.
Sounds good. Gonna pull some shots into there.
Yep.
12 shots, hitting on 3s, re-rollable because of Twin Linked. Go for it.
I'm gonna re-roll these.
Yeah. Not too shabby. That's gonna be 10 hits. Wounding on 5s against the Castellans. Not bad. A couple wounds there. I have some 3-up saves to make here. Followed by a Feel No Pain of 5+. And we are golden with the Castellans. And the Hive Crone here is going to just try and take a shot at the Terminators here. Going to throw a Tentaclid at it.
I did jinx, so I'm hitting on 6s.
Alright.
Nope.
That's going to miss though. And that does end the first turn of shooting, and just the turn in general for the Tyranids, because he has no assaults to declare this turn. But he's going to have a whole bunch of guys coming in next turn though. And unfortunately he wasn't able to attain any of his victory points, but
Get rid of that.
you're going to get rid of Objective 4? Alright, let's just ditch that one right there. But you know what? I wouldn't be too afraid yet, because you still have all this coming on. That's a lot. At the start of Imperial turn 2, I do draw another objective. Gonna get Praise the Machine God. And before we forget, we do have to see if this objective explodes again. Not yet. Saving up for a big one.
Yeah.
It's gonna roll, it's gonna get 5, and it's gonna kill all my Terminators. That's what's gonna happen.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. So because I drew Praise the Machine God, it does require me to either use the Canticle that gives me Shroud Psalm or the Iron Soul here. So I'm actually going to use the Iron Soul because I want the victory point. I think that just makes sense. So for this turn, because I have 4 Cult Mechanicus units on the table, I'm going to have Stubborn, and all the Cult Mechanicus guys will be able to reroll Fear, Pinning, and Morale checks if I fail them. And over here, I have 6 inches of movement, which just is enough to get me into that objective right there. Gonna give me some Skyfire, which I don't want to say I need it, but it's gonna be a nice thing to have because that Hive Crone is sitting right there. Now I'm not entirely sure if Justin and his friend are goading me right now, but my Dread Knight here is going to... No, you know what? I'm not being goaded. He's gonna sit right here on this objective, and he's gonna Skyfire at your Hive Tyrant. I am not going to be goaded yet.
Alright.
I see what you're doing right there. So that is what the Dread Knight's going to do. And these Cataphrone Destroyers are actually just going to move back a little bit because there's some Gene Stealers about around that corner. And even though it's still going to be a long charge, I don't trust my ability to overwatch. So they're just going to move back just 3 inches. Just going to put him back like... Oh, let's get him back first. He can go back like so. And over here, these Castellans are just going to reposition a little bit. Just so if the Hive Tyrant is still alive after I shoot at him with the Dread Knight, they can maybe shoot at the Gene Stealers hiding over there. And these Terminators are actually kind of happy where they are. I'm just going to turn them around, just because it looks better. Next up is the Psychic phase, so I'm going to have D6 plus my Mastery levels. Oh, so we're going to have a heavy Psychic phase. You got 9 right off the bat there. So I have 12 dice. At the very start, I'm going to throw 5 dice into Cleansing Flame, because I want to really rip into that Hive Crone there. So it's a Warp Charge 2, needing 2 successes. I got the 2 successes, but I am going to Peril at the same time there. Would you like to try and deny it?
Yeah.
Alright. It is not denied, though. Alright, so let's see what's going to happen here on the Perils chart. Roll a 1. Oh no! Alright, let's just see how strong my Librarian is here. Just barely made that one. Because that would have been...
Leadership 7 from the Death Leaper. Remember?
Oh, no. So he failed. He did indeed fail there. That's right, because you rolled that 5. So he is removed from play. Not only that, but everything else in that unit is now going to be taking D6 Strength 6 AP1 hits.
Holy.
So that's 4 more hits right there.
Someone was very unpleased with them.
And that's going to be a bunch of invulnerable saves. 2 invulnerable saves need to be made. I made one of them, so I'll just take away that guy right there. Now, thankfully, I'm still going to be able to get my Cleansing Flame off because it still does work here. So let's see how many hits. Oh, I'm not even going to get a nice little revenge hit against you.
Nice.
So you're toughness 5, correct?
Yes, sir.
So on 4s, ignoring cover, and AP 4, I believe.
Oh. Yeah, he's dead.
And that will be enough to kill the Hive Crone, because there's no invulnerable saves right there. So I may have lost my Librarian, but at least I took a Hive Crone out with me. And there is going to be a morale check that has to be made here, because that it was 25% casualties, because I lost the Librarian and 1 Terminator. But thankfully, they're going to be fine. Now, that is... oh, yeah, that's not quite done my second phase, so they're going to be done, though. Oh, no, not quite yet. I'm going to throw Force on them. Okay, good. Force goes off.
Forced.
I'm going to try and cast Sanctuary on the Dread Knight at this point. Going to 2-dice it. No. And I think at that point I'm just going to call it the powers, because I don't need to worry about Force or Hammer Hand at the moment, because there's not going to be any charges being declared on this turn, I don't believe. Moving into the shooting phase, I'm going to use these Terminators over here, and they're just going to fire into the Gene Stealers, all the way over there. It's going to be through Ruins, and you do have Stealth, so there's going to be a 3-up cover save there. Starting with the Side Cannon, hitting on 3s. It's going to be 3 hits, wounding on 2s. That is going to be 3 wounds right there. So you have your 3-up saves.
And 3-up saves.
And you are golden. Next up is going to be 6 Storm Bolters. Again, hitting on 3s. Not too bad, hitting with 5 of those. And wounding on 4s. But only 1 wound there.
And 1 save.
And it's going to be saved. Over here, this Dread Knight is going to fire into the Hive Tyrant there. Now he is sitting on a Skyfire Nexus.
I'm good at Jim.
Yeah, alright. So 6 shots hitting on 3s. That's going to be 4 hits right there. And what's your toughness?
6.
6, so wounding on 3s with rending. No rends, but it is going to be 4 armor saves you need to make there.
4 armor saves.
Oh, 2 more wounds.
Feel no pain?
Oh, that's right. You do have the feel no pain now. And you make 1 of those feel no pain, so he's going to drop down to 2 wounds. And now this squad right here going to fire into the Hive Tyrant. It's all going to be snap firing. So starting with the heavy side, or the side cannon rather. That's going to be 1 hit from the side cannon, wounding on a 3. That is going to wound, so you have your 3-up save.
He's good.
And you're fine. Next up is all the Storm Bolters, once again hitting on 6s. That's going to be 2 hits right there. Wounding on 6s. No wounds. Moving on to the Cataphren Breachers there, using their Torsion Cannons into the Hive Tyrant right there. Hitting on 6s. No wound, or no hits. Next up, I do have the Destroyers. They're going to fire their 3 heavy Grav Cannons into the Hive Tyrant here. They're going to be hitting on 4s, or sorry, 6s. And there's, there's 6 6s there. Not too shabby. Wounding on 3s. That's going to be 3 wounds right there, so you have your 4-up Jinx save. And that is that.
Feel no pain.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Get so excited about that. So,
1 wound.
You made 1 feel no pain, so he is going to drop down to 1. And that is going to force me to fire into the Hive Tyrant if I want to kill it this turn. Now, as much as I want to fire into the Gene Stealers with these Castellans, I have to take out that Hive Tyrant because that's Synapse, and that's kind of a big deal. It's also a Warlord kill. So starting with the twin-linked heavy phosphor blasters from the Castellans here, hitting on 4s. Good thing they are twin-linked. Okay, so that's going to be 2 from that right there. Now, I'm going to try and wound with these first, because if a successful wound goes through on this one, it does reduce your cover save.
Due to Lumigen, right?
Yeah, due to Lumigen. So, wounding on a 3. Toughness 5?
Toughness 6.
Oh, so 4. That's going to be 1 wound right there. So you have your 4-up save.
AP what?
AP 3.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Nope. And that is it.
Nope, feel no pain
Oh,
again.
that's right. I always forget about feel no pain.
Yeah, he's liking it.
And you know what? That's my punishment right there. Every time I think that's it, then you make your feel no pain. So let's do the non-twin linked ones. Oh no, only 2 right there. And that's going to be 1 more wound right there. So 4 up. And you made it. Now we come to an interesting issue at this point, because technically the Luminogen did successfully get applied and then you covered it with your feel no pain. Rules as written, the Luminogen just needs to be, like, for the Luminogen rule to go through, it basically needs to have 1 or more unsaved wounds, glancing or penetrating hits, which happened.
Yes, sir.
The feel no pain, though, just says the wound might have gone through, but you're ignoring it. So for the sake of this game, we're going to dice it. And because you're the guest, I'll give you, what do you want? Do you want even or odd?
I want odd.
You want odd? Alright. So if this is odd, then that 4-up is a saved cover save. If it's an even, then we have to do a Feel No Pain. And that is an even. So we do have a Feel No Pain coming up.
For the Flyer's life.
And you're golden. Next up, a couple of shots from the Tech Priest Dominus. Gonna start with his Eradication Ray. So this is a Strength 8 AP 1. So let's see if it hits here. No, that's gonna miss. Next up is the Phosphor Serpenta. That one's gonna hit. Now this is a Strength 5 AP 4. So it's gonna wound on a 5. No wound. And my last chance at this, I have my Gamma Pistol from the Data Smith. So is it going to hit? It will hit. Will it wound? It's gonna wound! Ooh. And this is an AP2. And we've already established for the Luminogen is in effect, so 5-up cover. Alright.
And then 5-up Feel No Pain.
5-up Feel No Pain.
This is gonna be for his life.
Oh, come on! Swingy dice. Alright, so the Hive Tyrant does maintain his living status.
Hey, maybe. I have to make a grounding test at the end of the phase.
That is true. Well, this is the end of the phase. I have no more shooting to do.
Grounding test on a 3+. He stays in the air.
Okay, so I can't run in and just gang beat him while he's on the ground.
No.
Alright, so that is the end of the shooting phase. It is also the end of the Grey Knight and AdMech Churn 2 because, no, there's no charges to be declared right now. So, let's take a look at the objectives. At the end of my turn, though, I was able to get Objective 5 for 1 point. I was also able to get Praise the Machine God because I used the Iron Soul Canticle. And I do have Supremacy as well because I'm sitting on 4 of the objectives and you're only sitting on 2 of them. So let's see how many points that gives me for an extra 2 points. And before we move on to the next turn, we do have to see if the Sabotage objective explodes on a 1.
Is this the big bomb?
Nope, it's still going. At the start of Justin's turn, he does have to pull another objective here.
Overwhelming firepower.
So you have to shoot something of mine off the table.
Got a lot of shooting.
I think you might be able to do that. Now we do have some reserves to make here, so let's start from the left over here with the Tyrannifex.
Yeah, in the Tyrannocite. So the Tyrannocite does come in.
Coming on.
And I have 3 spores, because these are in the other Tyrannocite.
Yep, so 3 Mucilid spores. All 3 coming on. Next up is the next Tyrannocite.
This is with the Gaunts.
That's coming in too. And lastly that's the
Moloch.
The Moloch. Okay. It's coming on.
Yep.
First Mucilid spore is going to come down. Where's it going to go?
Right there. Right there.
Okay. Next Mucilid spore going down right there. That's another direct hit. Last Mucilid spore coming in right there. And that is another direct hit. The Tyrannocite with all the Devil Gaunts in here. That one is also going to be a direct hit. And there's all the Devil Gaunts pouring out of the Tyrannocite. The Tyrannocite with the Tyrannifex in it, going to roll out right there. And that is another direct hit. And the Moloch, right?
Yep.
It's going to try coming up right there. And we finally have a scatter.
Yes.
So it's going to scatter right there.
Yep.
You can just move your hand. So it's going to hit a couple Devil Gaunts, it's going to hit one of my Castellans, and it's going to hit your Mucilid Spore there. So against the Castellan, needing a 5.
2? Nope.
Nope, no wound there. And now you have 2 against the Devil Gaunts.
2s.
That's going to probably just kill 2 Devil Gaunts right there.
Yep.
And against the Mucilid Spore, that is definitely going to wound it as well.
Insta-kills it.
And it's going to kill the Mucilid Spore. But there is still a Castellan in the way there.
Comes up again.
Alright, so what's going to happen? And it's going to fail to wound it, so that is going to be a mishap at this point.
I can place the base, and I'm allowed to place within an inch because of the actual ruling for the...
So through Tyranid shenanigans, he still gets to come up, apparently, through the Terror of the Deep special rule. So there he is, almost base to base with my Castellan right there. So there is a lot of Tyranids bearing down on me. And we do have an instinctive behavior over here to do for the Death Leaper.
Leadership 10.
And you're fine. And at the start of the movement phase, your Hive Tyrant?
Yep, my Flarent wants to go off the board, but he's going to take a Vector Strike on the way out.
Alright, so he's just going to Vector Strike the unit of Castellans with the Dominus and Data Smith in there. So, it's going to be a Strength 6 hit.
Yep, average toughness 7, right?
Average toughness 7.
So 5s.
That's definitely cocked.
Yep.
That's going to wound. And this hit is randomly allocated, so 1, 2 will be the Castellans, 4 will be the Datasmith, 3 will be the Datasmith, 4 will be the Dominus, rerolling 5 and 6. That's a 5, so let's reroll that. So it's going to hit one of the Castellans, so I do have a 5-up Feel No Pain to make on this one. No, so the Castellan will take a single wound. And the Death Leaper is going to start moving away from this objective here.
Move through cover.
5 inches. And he's just going to move to the front of the building, down 3 and 2 inches out. Moving into the Psychic phase, D6 plus 1 for a total of 6.
Yeah, you're right, 6, yeah.
Gonna try and cast Dominion on these Gene Stealers right here.
Yep.
From the Brood Lord.
A 2. Nope.
And it's not gonna go off, which is not good for you because you have a lot of stuff out of Synapse now for your next turn.
Yeah.
Next up is the Horror on this squad of Grey Knight Terminators over here. Gonna use 4 dice, okay. And that is gonna succeed, but it's also gonna perils. Now, because I'm also a Psyker, I will be denying on 5s. It's a shame my Librarian's not alive, because he would have brought it down to, oh geez, between the Psychic Hood and Greater, he would have been denying on 3s, yeah. But here we go, just need 2 5s.
You got it.
Which I got. And now let's see what happens with the perils. Come on, 1. No, that's a 5.
That's,
So a 5 is a leadership test, no wounds of any kind if you fail it.
Oh.
And you're fine there.
Yeah.
Now, one quick note, he did not move the Gene Stealers in his movement phase. I'm going to let him go back and do that right now, because, you know, this is a friendly game.
Ridiculous charge.
So here they come, just moving towards this unit of Terminators over there. Starting with the Tyran effects, going to use his Torrent Flamer into the Castellan Destroyers right here. Needing 3s. It's going to be 3 wounds right there. So that's enough to kill one completely and put another wound on this Destroyer right there. And a regular regular Flamer.
Electroshock pulse.
Electroshock pulse. So needing 5s?
Yes.
Alright.
Nope.
That's not going to wound though. Next up we have the Devil Gaunt's going to fire into the Castellan Manipule. He's actually going to change his mind. He's going to put all the 60 shots, or rather I guess 56 shots. No, it should be 56. Right?
3 shots each.
Oh, 3 shots each? Okay, 54 into the Dreadnought there, or Dread Knight there. Rolling batches of 27 twice here, so hitting on 4s?
Yep.
Okay.
That's pretty.
We're at 12 so far. The next batch of 27 shots. Strength 4, so needing 6s against the Dread Knight on 23. 5 successful wounds went through, so I have a bunch of 2-up saves to make here. And I'll make each and every one of them. Running with the Mucolid Spores, starting with that fella right there.
So that'll be 5, but then half, so 2.5.
So round up.
Yeah, so 3 right here.
This one.
That'd be 3 inches.
Alright.
Yep.
First one.
Right there, and right there.
I think you're after my Castellans there. So the Tyrannocyte now has 5 big blasts to put down on the Castellans right there.
Place it right there.
Sounds solid. Yeah, you're going to get 3 with that one. So first one is going to be a direct hit.
So 3.
Alright.
Next one.
Next one. Another direct hit. Let's see it again. Hey, look, a scatter.
5 inches.
We don't see many of those. That's 5 right there, and then 2 over there. So yeah, that's going to be scattering 5 inches, which I think might actually hit your Mucolid.
I think that will as well.
And that is enough to
take both my Mucolid Spores on one of your guys.
Yep, both Mucolids and my Datasmith. So we're up to I think that's...
That was 3?
Yeah, that's the 3rd one, so we're up to 3, 6, 7 on mine, 2 on your Mucolids.
That's going to be way off.
That's going to scatter.
That's like 8, 9 is right there. So, nothing.
And yeah, that's not going to hit anything. And you have 1 more to do.
Last one.
And that's going to be a direct hit.
Another 3.
So that's going to be a total of 10 hits on my unit, and then 1 on each of those Mucolids. 10 against the unit of Castellans, needing 6s to wound.
Yes, sir.
I see 2 6s right there. So I got a couple 3-up armor saves. And I made both of them. Next up, the Mucolids, wounded on 3s.
First one.
That is going to wound the Mucolid.
On the second one.
And the second one gets away scot-free. 5-up Shroud save. And you're golden. The other Tyrannocyte going to put it on these destroyers right here. 5 templates.
First one.
It's going to be a direct hit.
2. Second one.
That's another direct hit.
4. Next one.
That's going to scatter off the table, definitely.
Number 4.
And that's going to scatter 4 inches. Just one from that one there. And one last template to put down. And that's going to scatter way off as well. So it's going to be a total of 5 hits against the destroyers. Needing 5s to wound the destroyers. Only 1 wound. But I do have a save here, which I'll make. At the end of the shooting phase, I have to see if my destroyers are going to run away here. Thankfully, they're going to stick around. And the Gene Stealers are going to declare a charge in the assault phase against these Terminators right here. I will Overwatch. Starting with the Psi Cannon, firing through the ruins here. That's going to be 1 hit from the Psi Cannon, wounding on a 2. That is definitely going to wound on that 2 right there, but you do have the cover save provided.
3+.
3+. Hey, look, there's that dead Gene Stealer, and that is actually going to push you back an inch, I think. We'll have to double check it, but we'll that might do it. Next up is 3 Storm Bolters hitting on 6s. It's going to be another hit from the Storm Bolter, wounding on a 4. No wound. So let's double check that charge distance now. Now, if I'd actually killed that one right there, it would have pushed you into the 10-inch charge range. But instead, you're just needing 9s with move through cover and fleet.
And fleet.
All right.
There we go. I'm going to reroll this one, do the fleet.
I think that's a fair bet, yep.
And I need a 3.
Just failed to charge. So the Gene Stealers are stuck there.
That is huge.
That is a big deal, and that will end the Tyranid turn. So before we go check out objectives, we're just going to see if this one here explodes. Nope. No, it's still just ticking away there. So unfortunately, at the end of his turn, he was not able to get any of the objectives. So do you want to get rid of something?
Yep. Firepower.
Alright, yeah, because things are about to get bloody and probably an assault. At the start of my turn, I will drop to 3 objectives. So I have objective 6, Kingslayer, and Assassinate. So I got to take on a character as well. Additionally, at the start of my turn, I'll declare the Benediction of Omniscience. So because I do have 4 Cult Mechanicus units still on the table, I will get the second thing right here, which is reroll 1s and 2s when making shooting attacks. Starting off my movement phase, I'm going to move these Terminators through difficult terrain towards the Gene Stealers and hope for the best for 5 inches. It's enough to get them pretty close. It's still going to be a difficult charge based on the difficult terrain and the distance here, but it's a little bit better than it was otherwise. These Terminators as well are going to move through difficult terrain. Going to go 6 inches, and they're just going to start moving towards these gaunts right here. So it's going to be enough to get the front 2 off the building there. So it's still going to be a difficult terrain, or moving through difficult terrain on the charge. But at least as long as I don't roll snake eyes.
Yeah.
And as much as I want to send the Dread Knight after the Death Leaper there in order to get the character kill, I think what I have to do is just jump forward into the difficult terrain and go after that Moloch. Let's make sure he doesn't wound himself.
He's good.
Alright, he's good. These guys over here are just going to make it a little bit more difficult for your Mucilid Spores to get within the charge distance there. Just going to move them around a bit. And these guys right over here, the Destroyers, moving through difficult terrain. That's enough. I just want to move them back just a tiny little bit. Actually, move them like this so I'm not shooting through the cover there. I don't want to give you any cover saves. Next up is the Psychic phase. I got 3 plus D6 for a total of 4. I'm going to 2-dice Sanctuary on the Dread Knight here. And I'm going to get it with 1 success. Would you like to try and deny that?
No.
No? Alright, so Sanctuary goes through. And just in case, I'm going to Hammer Hand these guys right here on 1d6. That's going to fail. And I'm going to try the same thing on these Terminators right over here. 1d6. And that is going to go off.
I'm going to throw my 2 dice at it.
Okay.
And it goes off.
And it's going to go off. Starting with the Dread Knight, going to fire his heavy Psi Cannon into the Moloch there. Going to be 6 shots hitting on 3s. And that's going to be 4 hits right there. What's your toughness?
6.
So wounding on 3s with rending. Not a single wound amongst them. So I guess he just wants to get in there and punch the Moloch. Now this one is very important. I got to fire the heavy grav cannons into the Tyrannifex. So I got 12 shots. I'm re-rolling my 1s and 2s here. So basically, as long as I don't roll a bunch of 3s, hitting on 4s. So there's a couple 3s there.
Yeah.
But so far I got 4 hits. Let's see if I can add a couple more to that. For 2 more hits. Now as long as I don't roll any 1s here, I'm golden. Not a single one.
Very dead.
And there is no cover save being granted there, so I was able to take out the Tyrannifex. Gonna fire the 3 torsion cannons from these breachers into the Moloch right there. Hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s and 2s. That's gonna be 3 hits right there. So because of Gravitic Torsion, for every wound I deal, that's actually going to be D3 wounds against him right there. And this is Strength 8 AP 1, so on anything but 1s. Oh, I think the odds are good he's probably going to be dead.
Let's see.
And that's going to be 2, 4, 5.
1 wound.
He's alive with 1 wound. 1 wound remaining. But that does make it a little bit easier for me to decide on what to fire next.
For these.
Oh yeah, you're going to get cover on these ones. So I'm going to fire this unit into the Gene Stealers right here. I'm still firing through cover, so you're going to be getting your 3-up saves here. Starting with the Psy Cannon, hitting on 3s. It's going to be 2 hits, wounding on 2s. That's going to be 2 wounds, so 2 3-up saves to make.
I am probably going to go to ground.
You're going to go to ground?
Yeah, I can't fire Overwatch anyways, right? So
Fair enough.
2+.
And you're golden. And I got a couple Storm Bolters, so 3 Storm Bolters firing at them, hitting on 3s. That's going to be 4 hits right there, wounding on 4s. And that's going to be 2 more wounds right there.
2+.
And you're golden. And I need to start whittling away some of these Devil Gaunts here, because that's just an obscene amount of shots. So we're going to start with the Psy Cannon into the Devil Gaunts, hitting on 3s. That's going to be 3 hits, wounding on 2s. That's going to be 3 dead Devil Gaunts right there. Next up is all the Storm Bolters, hitting on 3s. All but 1 are going to hit. So it's going to be 7 shots hitting. Wounding on 3s. And only 3 wounds though. So not as bad as it could have been. And I feel like I'm wasting shots this way, but I got to take out one of those Mucolids right there. So I'm going to start with the Twin-Linked Heavy Phosphor Blasters. We'll fire into... I guess it really doesn't matter. We'll fire into that one right there.
Right.
So hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s and 2s because of my Canticle. So that's going to be 2 hits from the Twin-Linked... Oh wait, it's all Twin-Linked.
Yeah.
So I can re-roll all of those. There we go, that's much better. And you said these are Toughness 5?
Toughness 3.
Oh, Toughness 3, okay. Hey, look at that, I think I just killed it.
Maybe. Let's see if
Oh, you got Stealth, that's right.
Oh, Shroud.
Oh, it's Shrouded?
Yeah. What's the strength of it? 6?
Strength 6.
Insta kills me.
Okay, so he is still dead. And that is my shooting phase complete at this point, so we're going to move right into the assault phase. These Terminators are going to declare an assault against the Devil Gaunts right here, so you have a lot of Overwatch. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 36 shots on Overwatch. 36 Overwatch shots hitting on 6s. I see a good chunk of 6s. Wounding on 4s. Only 1 wound. And I will make the save. So, let's see what the charge range is. Alright, let's check that out. And an 8 is enough to get me into close combat here. And hopefully I'll be able to rip through those gaunts a little bit. Next up, I'll declare an assault against your Moloch with my Dread Knight here. Now, as a monstrous creature, he does have move through cover, so there's no way I can actually fail this. Do you have any Overwatch with him?
No.
No. So he is going to make it in. And now I have an assault to declare over here. We already measured it. It's a 5-inch charge, but going through difficult terrain. So I'm going to need to roll a 7 here, which is average. Yeah. I should be able to get it. I rolled a 6, so I failed it. So this... Yeah, so you're probably going to get the charge on me next turn, but at least you've gone to ground.
Yeah,
which means
I can't get the charge.
So you're not going to get the charge on me next turn, so I'm just going to be able to keep moving in. Now we are right into the assault phase, so let's start right over here with the Terminators against the Devil Gaunts. What's your initiative?
My initiative is 4, I think.
So the Terminators are going to be striking at the same time as the Gaunts, so as the active player, just going to pile in first. And just get a whole bunch in there right there. And then you're going to pile in 3 inches as well. Alright. So we'll do the Devil Gaunts first. 12 attacks, hitting on 4s against the Terminators. And that's not bad. Decent amount of hits there. Wounding on 5s. 3 wounds right there.
Pretty good.
And... I will lose 1 Terminator, but at the very least, he's still going to strike back. Yeah, definitely worth it right there, right? I have 12 halberd attacks going into the Devil Gaunts right here, hitting on 3s. That was a... well, okay, not as bad.
They're not fearless right now.
Wounding on 2s. So that is going to be 7 more dead Gaunts just from the halberds, and I still have a hammer coming in. Now the 3 hammer attacks hitting on 3s. That's going to be 2 hits right there.
2s.
On 2s.
Oh.
And that is going to be 1 more down, so there's still 4 Gaunts remaining. I think you need double 1s in order to stick in this fight here.
Nope.
So they are definitely going to run. How far? 5 inches. So they're just basically going to be running right around the Terminators there. Just pop in on the other side. And consolidate these guys right here. 6 inches. Just going to move around a little bit. Like so. Next up we have the Kaiju fight. So we have the Moloch going first, hitting on 4s with 3 attacks. 2 hits right there. And your strength 6.
Yep.
Alright, so wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. So I did get Sanctuary off here, so I got 4 up invulnerable saves. I will fail both of them. And I have 5 attacks back on the charge. I can't mess this up simply because if I do, you're going to hit and run, and yeah, that's going to become a game of whack-a-mole, and I don't want to deal with that. So, hitting on 3s. Okay, this should be good. Wounding on 2s. I almost messed it up. I almost messed it up. But thankfully, I did get him. And he is going to consolidate 4 inches. He's just going to move out a little bit and start looking at that Tyrannocyte there. And that is the end of turn 3 for the Imperials. Sorry, turn 2?
Turn 3.
Yeah, this is turn 3s, right?
Yeah. My turn 3.
Yeah, so we're about to go into Tyranid, turn 3. Unfortunately, though, I was not able to achieve any objectives because that Moloch was not a character, and I'm pretty sure none of your Devil Gaunts were characters either, and his Hive Tyrant is still hanging out off the board. At the start of his turn, he's going to draw another objective.
Objective 6.
Alright. So, and you just moved off it with your Gene Stealers. Here comes the Flyrant again.
Just flying on. Right here.
Yeah, putting a whole bunch of things back into Synapse there. And the Mucilid Spore getting ever closer to this unit here. I think you're going to charge on your turn. Tyrannocyte just repositioning to get a better target for his shots. Death Leaper just going to reposition a little bit. 2 inches.
That's what I get for keeping his base in cover.
And what is he doing? Just getting out of the cover there?
Yeah,
There we go.
I was aiming to go after them, but now I got a pretty long bomb charge.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one. Especially because it's through cover as well.
He's got to move through cover.
Oh, yeah, you don't care then. And this Tyrannocyte just shifting a little bit just to get a better target as well. Into the Psychic phase, 2 plus D6. So a total of 4.
D6.
Oh, that's right, he's Mastery level 2, sorry. 3 plus D6 for a total of 7, and I'll have 10. Gonna start with the Horror onto the squad of Terminators in there. So how many dice?
2. Goes off with 1.
It's gonna go off with 1. I think I'm gonna 4 dice this one. I just need a single 5, which I failed to get. So this is leadership minus 2.
Yep.
So I need to roll 7, and they're fine.
It's a small template.
Warp Blast from the Hive Tyrant into the Castellans right there. Throwing 5 dice at it.
Goes off with 2.
Goes off with 2, okay. Need to see 2 6s in order to deny this. No, so the Warp Blast will go off. Placing the template right over top of the Dominus there for 3 hits. Where's it going to go to?
Direct hit.
Direct hit for 3 hits. So majority toughness 7. Currently. So let's see what's going to happen here.
6s. Got
1 wound. So I have a Feel No Pain to make, which I made. That is the end of the Psychic phase, so let's move right into the shooting phase. Twin Link Devour from the Flyrant into the Dread Knight. This is going to be hitting on 3s, twin linked. That's not too shabby right there.
Twin linked. Oh.
So all 12 are going to hit. Wounding on 4s.
That's pretty bad.
Not as impressive, sadly. So for most people, 5 would be a guaranteed, he's going to live through this, but with the way I roll, I wouldn't be surprised if I see a couple 1s. Hey, look, for once I rolled well.
That's pretty good.
So he is going to live.
No way.
These guys are going to run over here, the Devil Gaunts. They're going to run, only 2?
Yep.
That's unfortunate. But it's enough to just move them back a little bit. So both Mucolids, their closest unit...
Tyranids.
Oh, sorry, Tyranids are... their closest unit is going to be the Castellans right here, so we're going to see 10 templates going down here.
Yes, sir. Right there. First one.
First template. It's going to scatter back 5 inches. That one will scatter back onto the Tyrannocyte. The second one, it's going to be a direct hit for 3.
Next one.
That's going to scatter back onto that Tyrannocyte.
Fourth one.
And another direct hit, so we're up to 6 on the Castellans.
Last one.
And that one's going to scatter back, and once again, because it's 5 inches again, it's going to hit that Tyrannocyte again.
Yep.
6 hits on my Castellans, wounding on 6s.
Nope.
Not a single one. On the Tyrannocyte that did not fire.
5s.
No wounds. And 1 on the one that did fire.
Nope.
No wound. Next one, same placement. First one is going to direct hit.
So 3.
And that's going to be followed up. That's going to scatter off everything.
Yeah.
It's not hitting anything. And then we have another direct hit for 6.
4.
That one will scatter back 2 inches.
So.
It's going to result in 2 hits against me, but 1 against his Muclid there.
And last one.
That's another direct hit. So we're going to have a total... Oh, geez, that's a lot. That's 3, 6, 9, 11 onto me, isn't it? Yeah. 11 against the Castellans.
Hoping for 6s. I got 2 6s.
There's 2 6s right there. So armor... oh, it's this rear one. So it's armor 3 is the closest. And I am actually going to lose a Castellan, which is no good for me. But there he goes. And as always, I forget about Feel No Pain. That's good, because the Castellan just came back with 1 wound. And 1 wound against the Muclid, which will wound.
He's good.
But he's going to save it.
The Death Leaper's going to try.
So we have some assaults to go. The Muclid is going to definitely get in right there. I got some Overwatch to do, which is very important. I'm going to need that Overwatch. And then, of course, we have the Death Leaper right here. He's going to assault into the Terminators there. And so I'll have some Overwatch against that one as well.
10.
Starting over here, I'll start with the Psy Cannon against the Death Leaper. Hitting on 6s. Nothing from that. And I'll have 3 Storm Bolters firing into it as well. Hitting on 6s. It's going to be 1 hit right there. What's his toughness?
Toughness 4.
That's going to be a wound.
And they're AP 5, right?
They're AP 5, yeah.
So I'll take my my stealth save from 6+. Nope.
And a wound will go through onto the Death Leaper. 10-inch charge with Fleet. Gonna try that one again?
Yeah.
All right.
Roll this one. Nope.
Oh, so unfortunately the Death Leaper will not make it in. No way you're going to be able to fail that charge in there, so I do have some Overwatch that I need to do first, and I'm hoping for at least one of those to go through and hit.
Just gotta get one.
Starting with the twin-linked heavy phosphor blasters. Thankfully, twin-linked. I'm starting to wish I gave him the raiment of the Technomartyr. Nothing on the twin-linked ones. The non-twin-linked, there's 1 right there, and I get to reroll 1s and 2s. So that's still not going to be another wound there. So as long as I don't roll a 2 here and you don't pass your save. Oh, come on! Alright, so Eradication Ray. It's going to miss, but it rolled a 1. That's still not going to hit. The Phosphor Serpenta. That's not a 6, and it's not a 1 or a 2. And the Gamma Ray. That's a 2, so I get to reroll that one. Oh, so sadly, nothing went through. So he's going to get in, and he is just going to explode.
Mission step 10.
Yep.
So I got 2.
All right. Wounding on 2s, because this is what, strength 8?
Yeah.
Strength 8, yep. And that's going to be 2 wounds right there. And I'm going to try and tank them on the Data Smith, because they're only AP 3, so hopefully my 2-up save will be enough. And it is, thankfully. And with that, that is the end of Tyranid Turn 3. I don't think you were able to attain any objectives, because unfortunately 6 you just walked off of, and 3 those Castellans just keep holding it.
I know.
So let's go into Imperial Turn 4. At the start of my turn, I still have the same 3 objectives, because I did not discard anything last turn. At the start of my turn, I will declare the Canticle of the Remorseless Fist. That's the one that allows me to reroll 1s and 2s with 4 units on the table. That's just in the off chance that you start getting some charges in on some of my Cult Mechanicus guys. And the Terminators are going to start walking towards that Death Leaper right there, because I want to get that character kill. These guys will just continue to sit on the objective right there. Over here, these Cataphren destroyers will just sort of roll over a bit and just get some good shots. Make them move over far enough that they're not going to get the cover save. Just like so, and just get some shots in over there. And the Terminators in here moving through difficult terrain for 5 inches. And the 5 inches is enough to get the 4 of them out of the building in here and close enough that they can get some decent shots in at the Gene Stealers here. And the Dread Knight is just going to move forward like so. Just getting out of the way of the Castellans there, not to provide an extra cover save. But I guess you'd probably be jinking anyway. And just give himself a nice option on who to go after. Going to start by firing the Castellans into the fly range right here. Would you like to jink?
Yes.
Okay. So hitting on 4s, twin linked. Good thing that's twin linked there. Alright, so that's going to be 4 from the twin linked ones. Wounding on 3s. So that's only 1 wound. So 4 up jink. Oh, the flying
no pain.
That's right, feel no pain. Reroll that one. That one's definitely cocked.
Nope.
Oh, and he finally goes down. So that will be a Warlord kill for me, just to match the Warlord kill you got from me blowing up my brains earlier in the game. Gonna fire these Terminators into the Death Leaper right there, starting with the side cannon, needing 6s to hit. Nothing from the side cannons. Got 3 Storm Bolters needing 6s. That's 1 Storm Bolter. And toughness 4. No wounds. These destroyers with their heavy grav cannons into that Tyrannocyte right there, hitting on 4s. That's 4 hits, wounding on 4s. That's going to be 2 wounds right there. And I just realized I've been forgetting to fire with their their Phosphor Blasters as well all this game.
I don't think it would have made a difference.
I don't think so either, but it's one of those things that just dawned on me. Next up, the Phosphor Blasters into the Tyrannocyte, hitting on 4s. That's going to be 1 hit, strength 5, so wounding on a 4, no wound. The 3 Breachers are now going to fire at that Tyrannocyte right over there as well. So once again, hitting on 4s with their Torsion Cannons. That's going to be 2 hits right there, wounding on 2s. That's going to be 2 wounds, and I just need to roll nothing but, or I need to roll like a 3 or 4, and I'm good.
And he's down to 1.
And he's down to 1. And he's toughness 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not even insta-death threshold. The Dread Knight's going to fire into that Tyrannocyte right there, hitting on 3s with the heavy side cannon. That's going to be 6 hits right there, wounding on 2s. That is going to be 5 wounds right there, and this is AP 4.
Got 1 wound.
And over here, going to fire into these Gene Stealers, starting with the side cannon, needing 3s to hit. Would you like to go to ground again?
I will after the wounds are rolled to see.
Okay, so let's see what happens. That's going to be 2 hits from the side cannon.
Pretty good.
And that is going to be 2 wounds from the side cannon.
Go to ground, so 5+ because of 1 for
Yep.
stealth. I got
So
1.
1 Gene Stealer is going to go down. And then I do have 6 Storm Bolter shots coming at this squad as well. Hitting on 3s. 4 hits, wounding on 4s. That's going to be 1 more wound right there.
Aim fails it.
And that is going to be another dead Gene Stealer, which is important because that is a lot of attacks I'm still removing. And much like last turn, I just realized I really should have thrown a Psychout Grenade, because that would have caused a perils on the Broodlord right there.
It would have given me a 3+ invulnerable save.
Yeah, you would have rolled a 6 and he would have become amazing. Flesh Bane, Armor Bane, Feel No Pain.
Yeah.
But either way, killed a couple. So that is the shooting phase for me. So we're going to move right into the assault phase now. And I did just realize I skipped my psychic phase. I was so excited to get into the shooting phase. But I've already gone through a whole phase, so I'm not taking that back. So go ahead, roll the leadership for your Gene Stealers there.
Make it on a 10.
Yeah, that was a close one. Gonna declare an assault against the Death Leaper right here with my Terminators. You got your Flesh Hooks.
Yep, 2 shots. They miss.
They do not hit. Okay, so let's see the assault range. 7 inches, they are definitely in. So they'll just charge forward.
You got a character in there?
I do have a character in there.
I challenge him.
Alright, well.
Wait, no, you're the owner. You get to declare the challenge.
Oh, fine, I'm going to challenge you then.
Exactly. I can't.
Either way, a challenge is going to happen here.
Exactly.
Alright, so we got that going on. I'll declare an assault over here as well with the Dread Knight. There's no way he can fail. So he's just going to get in like so.
Same with those other guys over there.
Same deal over here. Going to declare an assault as well. So they're just going to get right in because they are less than 2 inches away. Well, actually, just because it's going to matter for him, maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 6 inches, that's definitely enough to get everyone into base to base. And I will declare an assault over here with my... Actually, no, that just seems rather stupid. Oh, they're strength 5. Yeah, why not? Let's do the charge. So that's going to be through difficult terrain. I need a high roll here. That's very likely not going to get it. So 7-inch distance and through difficult terrain, so I would have needed 9s to get it, so nothing's happening there. Death Leaper starting first in this combat over here, initiative 7, 5 attack space.
Weapon skill 9, so hitting on 3s.
That's going to be 3 hits right there.
Strength 6, so winning on 2s.
Yep.
6 is rend. Well, 2 wounds.
No rends, 2 wounds,
Oh,
and I'll
no.
make them both. Here comes all the halberd attacks. So there's going to be 9 halberd attacks on the charge, hitting on 4s.
What's your weapon skill?
Weapon skill 4.
You're hitting on 5.
Oh, your weapon skill 9?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so hitting on 5s. So I'll just roll a bunch of 6s then.
Yeah, you will.
And 2 5s. So that's going to be 4 hits from the halberds alone.
Hitting on 2s.
What's your toughness?
4.
Toughness 4. I'm strength 5 at the moment, so 3s.
So you just gotta get 2 3s and he's dead. He's very
And that's enough to take out the Death Leaper and get me the character kill there. And these guys will consolidate 6 inches just to turn around and start looking at those Devil Gaunts there. Moving into this combat right here, your weapon skill 2. I got 5 attacks on the charge. Gonna be hitting on 3s here. And that's only gonna be 2 hits, but I just have to wound once. And there we go. That Tyrannocyte does go down. And he will consolidate 6 inches. Just gonna start looking that way at the other Tyrannocyte there.
fight him.
And over to this combat right here. I believe you probably have initiative on me.
Initiative step 7.
Yep.
Lord.
So we have a lot of attacks coming in. How many attacks does the Broodlord have?
5.
Alright, 5 attacks.
Hitting on 3s.
Oh, that's
a lot of misses.
unfortunate.
And strength 5.
So on 3s,
That's
no
not good.
wounds. Now the Gene Stealer's 15 attacks hitting on 3s. That's a lot better than the Broodlord there. Strength 4, toughness 4, so wounding on 4s.
6 is rend.
There's 2 rends in there and 1 additional wound.
Yep.
Taking the rends first, needing 5 ups. I'm going to lose 2 Terminators from the rends, and then... Okay, so just 2. So I'll take out... I honestly don't know what I want to take out here. I'll lose the Psy Cannon, and I guess I'll lose this Halberdier right there. My attack's back. I have 1 Halberd remaining, hitting on 4s. So I'll hit once right there, wounding on 3s. That is going to wound, so that's going to be a dead Gene Stealer right there. And 3 hammer attacks. That's going to be hitting once. On a 2. Oh no! So you have 1 combat actually, by 1. So on leadership 8. Okay, thankfully they are sticking in combat, but they're probably just going to be mulched on the next turn anyway.
Yeah.
That is the end of the Imperials turn 4. So we're going to go into Tyranid turn 4 at this point. Not much is remaining though. We are still sitting on these 3 objectives. You've really been determined to try and get objective 3 this game. I think that might have been your downfall.
That could have been it, yeah.
So we're going to go into your turn 4 with the same 3 objectives. So we do have some synapse to roll at the start of the turn as well. So these
behavior.
instinctive behavioral devil gaunts, they're fine. And does the Tyrannocyte have to?
No.
All right, you're solid then. And before I forget, I did get Kingslayer and Assassinate. Kingslayer is going to get me 1 point, and then Assassinate will also get me 1 point. And the Tyrannocyte's just going to start moving towards those destroyers there. Hopefully going to do some more wounds before it gets killed.
The Gaunts.
The Devil Gaunts.
This way.
Oh, going to try and get lucky against that Dread Knight there.
Absolutely.
I've seen it happen. Into the shooting phase, these Devil Gaunts going to try and take off those 2 wounds from the Dread Knight. 16 shots. Hitting on 4s. That's a good chunk of hits right there.
That was a good shot.
Once again, I've showed my failure to do math. It's actually 12 shots. I'm going to give him the 12 shots anyway at this point, just because I don't want to go back and redo clips.
Yeah.
So go ahead and just roll those hits there. And there's 3 wounds there.
That's a good deal.
So as long as I don't see snake eyes. Ah, okay. So the Dread Knight will continue to live. And from the Tyrannocyte, we have 5 templates coming down. So that's going to be a hit.
So 2. That's off.
And it's going to scatter back, what, 6 inches?
Yeah.
And that one actually will hit your Tyrannocyte there. But the next one, that's going to scatter back 2 inches, but just off, so it's not going to hit your Tyrannocyte. So number 4, that's going to scatter off and hit nothing. And the last one is going to scatter directly back, and that is enough to clip the Tyrannocyte. So 2 and 2. Against the Destroyers?
5s.
Nothing. And against the Tyrannocyte?
5s.
Okay, so the Tyrannocyte doesn't do anything. And these Gaunts are going to declare an assault into my Dread Knight, so I will have my Overwatch. 6 shots with the heavy side cannon. Hitting on 6s. 1 hit. And no wound. And there is no way you can fail that charge. And you're definitely in. Moving over here, we're going to see how this massacre plays itself out. So the Broodlord going first with his 5 attacks. That's much better. Well, not much better,
really,
but it's better than last time.
Winning on 3, 6s rend.
Yep.
There's 1 rend.
So there's a rend, of which there's 1 dead, and an armor save, and that's it. The Broodlord has taken them both out. Over here, 8 attacks on the charge from the Devil Gaunts, hitting on, what's your weapon skill?
Force, weapon skill 3.
Force. Well, not too bad, actually. That's going to be 5 hits right there.
Winning on 6s.
1 wound. And that is going to be saved.
No insult to injury.
So 4 attacks back, hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits, wounding on 2s.
That's 2 dead Devil Guns.
That will be 2 dead Gaunts and a leadership check of
4.
Of 4.
I fail.
So they are definitely going to run away. Do I catch you?
You do not.
Nope. So you are able to get away at the very least.
They can't.
And we have just looked at the board, and I think we've both decided that at this point it's really just beating a dead horse. So we're going to call it. Beating a dead Tyranid. So good game. There's the handshake right there, gentlemen. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the game. We had a lot of fun playing with it. As always, we are going to have a second game, so you can go ahead and click the link below. It's going to be in the vault.
It's going to be lots of fun.
Oh yeah, I think so. Now that we know how each other play.
I'm bringing something new that no one has ever played before.
What, a Pyrovore?
Old One's Eye.
Oh, Old One Eye, okay. So anyway, you can check the link below to go to the vault. If you're not a vault member, you can still check it out. As always, there's going to be that 7-day free trial. You're going to get access to everything we have, and there's literally thousands, if not tens of thousands of videos in there. Probably a lot. There's a lot of content. But there's campaigns, there's painting tutorials, all sort of great stuff. So definitely check it out. If you're already Vault members, go ahead and click the link. It's going to take you right to the next video. And of course, we do have our post game that's going to be happening as well. Again, that's going to be in the vault as well. So go ahead and check it out. Same stuff as before. And as always, happy wargaming.